Are you glad that you grew up without all that technology and you learned it like that?
To me, that's where like a lot of these guys like yourself and guys that grew up like that have a lot more wisdomship because first off, you had to find your way back to the truck, whether you're following a ridge, following a drainage, whatever, back to where you had parked at. But you didn't have all the detailed mapping systems that we have now that you can almost just look on a map and walk right in, be like, I'm gonna go check out this drainage or this ridge system. It was more so just the boundary maps, which are old boundary maps, topographical maps, unless you went and bought one.
Yeah, we couldn't afford to do that.
So you just had to go out there and walk it, and you had to walk it and walk it and walk it. And that's where I feel like a lot of guys like yourself would learn this a lot more about what areas would hold deer because you're covering so much ground, you're finding so much different sign and habitat and stuff like that, and you didn't know what it looked like until you were physically there. Where now it's almost like a little cheat code where you can kind of have a general idea of what the vegetation may look like based off aerial imagery, go in there and spot check. Back then there wasn't really much spot check, and I'm guessing it was more so just covering as much ground as possible, find what you were really interested in, then kind of honing in on that and testing out and seeing if you could find deer.
If you jump deer, that's one of the key things. If you jump a deer, our general thought process was either hunt there or go 50 yards or so toward where it run and then set up something. And there were several times that I know one time we spent the night in Okmulgee. Me and my brother and my dad spent the night before cell phones, anything lost, tracking a deer at dark or right before dark. Couldn't find it, couldn't find our way back. Basically just built a fire and laid out. Got woke up by somebody driving by on a gravel road, went to the gravel road, and it was like 2 roads away from where we was parked at. It took us an hour or 2 to get back to the vehicle. Of course, we're all starving by then, so go drive somewhere, eat, and come back and hunt the rest of the day, and nobody knows we've been lost. So, a couple other times we've walked for a long time trying to find something that we recognized, getting turned around in the dark. I mean, again, you learned everything. You learned the woods, learned your area, learned where creeks went, learned where points went, just as much as you could. Then find you a couple more areas, that way if somebody was there parked, you could have somewhere else to hunt. So no onX, none of that until way later.
Was it pretty common back then on like some of those big hunts where like people would get lost and like they'd have to send out search teams to look for people?
That was pretty much all the time. Somebody probably lost about every hunt. You see, or you hear a horn blowing, somebody be blowing a horn, trying to let somebody know where the truck's at, where they can start walking back. They wait 2 or 3 hours and you see somebody come with a flashlight, you'd hear all kinds of stories about stuff like that. So, again, we didn't have all that fancy stuff. So that's where a lot of the folks, kind of raised up not to hunt real far from roads, but we would. So we didn't care. We was going looking, trying to find something because we wanted to kill something bad. So
That's something we were talking to Jeremy, wasn't it? Jeremy Aaron about a couple of days ago, was back before onX and everything. That was the case.